Every film I try to up myself.
Sure.
Every time I go to set, I put the pressure on myself to be a better performer. I'm someone who came from a really small town and I got the opportunity, but very few people do, because you've got to know someone to know someone
Right.
to know someone. I mean, it's very easy to have
Sure.
a safe career.
Sure.
But I want to be able to have a path which is mine. Yeah, I screwed up sometimes, but it's mine. No one
Right.
else did it before me. It's completely, empty territory till I get there. I've given up my life to achieve what I achieve. I don't meet my family, I don't meet my friends, I don't sleep, I'm unwell, unhealthy.
I remember meeting you on a flight a year and a half ago when you were flying into India for a day,
12 hours.
12 hours to shoot Baji Rao.
Yeah. So I've sacrificed a lot to be here. So it's to me not that, oh, ye to ho gaya. I've given up a lot to be able to achieve this, because to me, I was not privileged. I didn't come into the business with friends or a famous dad or I'm not. I mean, making light of the people who do.
Right.
But for me, opportunities and achievements were everything that I had to claw myself through. I'm also not the kind of person who asks for help or favors. It's not my nature. So it was very important for me because I had to get the job on merit. So I had to have enough merit to be able to get the job.
Right.
So मैंने अपने हुनर पे काम किया. But I also was willing to, I'm a young girl. I was willing to just say I want to make a legacy over having a fun life in my youth,
Right.
which is a very difficult choice
Sure.
when you're a young person. And my mom always says that to me, that, you've worked through your whole life. I wish that when you do start a family or have a life, it's happy and you find someone who makes you laugh, because you only work. I really get bored doing the same thing.
Okay.
Fear drives me, fear of failure. So I think it's a deliberate choice for me that I pick a part where I say, I'm doing something similar, I don't want to do this right now. So I pick a variation of things. I'm really fortunate. I have amazing parts that come to me. It's really nice to know that parts like this are written for you or
True.
you're thought of just based on merit.
True.
It's really great. But yes, most of the years I have opportunities coming my way where I have the choice to say, oh my God, I have 3, which one do I do?
Correct.
So I've not struggled with that too much yet. As an artist, I guess, you can just do your best work.
Right.
After that, every film has its own
Sure.
destiny, and I would be hopeful that the kind of love and support that I've always got from people who want to watch me, would like and appreciate my work. But
Yeah.
I don't put myself through that.
Sure.
Of wondering what it'll be like, because then I'd be judging me. And this is the best work I've done. Every film I try to up myself.
Sure.
Every time I go to set, I put the pressure on myself to be a better performer. But outside of that, I'm also aware now, almost 20 years in the business, that I'm also aware of the fact that it's not in your hands.
Right.
It's like art is subjective and everyone's going to decide if this is their piece of art. It's not like, मैं flag उठा के आ रही थी कि मैं अमेरिका जाके एक झंडा गाड़ूंगी. That was never the plan. I was
Right.
just doing music. And I used to fly in and out of America all the time, and I'm a fan of music, so I was doing that, it was like my hobby. And while I was doing that, I ended up meeting a few people who told me that I should work here because I'm an easy fit
Right.
in as an international star, so which is when the VP of casting flew down when I was shooting Gunde and asked me to do a talent deal with ABC where I pick whatever I want to do, and so it was a sweet deal, paid holiday, so I did it, and I just didn't know it would blow up into this. I mean, we are in 217 countries around the world within our first season,
Right.
and that's not happened to any TV show before this, so it's amazing.
Now, Scandal, which is an ABC show, has an African-American woman at its center. there's How to Get Away with Murder, which now has also an African American actress who is central to that show. You know, it's taken so long for an African American actress to be at the center of an American TV series. How hopeful are you that there will be strong, interesting roles for an Indian actor?
If you see the kind of shows that ABC is doing, whether it was Sofia Vergara, Eva Longoria or Kerry Washington, you know, they believe in diversity.
Right.
And to me, it's time for India. It's not just about being Indian, but it's about talent from India which can move into global entertainment.
Right, right. So you're not seeking out necessarily just characters that are Indian in American shows.
In fact, I'm deliberately trying to stay away from that.
Okay.
I want to play ethnically ambiguous parts, and if I'm Indian as my culture, it's fine.
Right.
But that I don't want that to be the stereotype of what India is to be the crux of the part that I play.
Sure.
So it's me and my messed up Indian family.
Right.
That's something I don't want to do. It would be interesting if you see me playing, I don't know, an Egyptian princess. I'm someone who came from a really small town, and I got the opportunity, but very few people do, because you've got to know someone to know someone to know someone. So I want to have a production
you were Miss
house.
World.
Yeah, and that helped.
Right.
But there's so much talent that we have, and I meet people all the time, designers.
Right.
I meet kids all the time. My family, there's so many people, but there's like lack of opportunity because you've got to know somebody needs to recommend you. So I wanted to create that.
Okay.
It ended up becoming me doing a film which stars me, but maybe that
which is Madhur Bhandarkar's film.
Yes, which is Madhur's film, which maybe will give me a setup for a production house.
Sure.
I mean, I'll be a very small producer making small films, but maybe doing that film will give me like a foothold to start. I'm a storyteller, and I'm not someone who restricts myself to one thing, ever. I've never been that person. Maybe I have ADD, but I want to be able to do everything. Why can't we do everything?
Sure.
You know, and especially women, we're great at multitasking. So I want to produce, I want to have a business, I'm producing here, I'm going to produce in India, Hindi films, regional films. I want to be able to act in them, maybe not. You know, there's so many things that I can do, which I want to be able to explore. I was actually really excited about playing the bad girl because, you know, in Quantico, which is my introduction to America, I guess, I'm playing such a national hero who saves the world all the time, and Victoria just wants to buy it. And you know how much I enjoy playing the villain. I mean, even in Etras I did Satun Maaf. So I had a lot of practice, but I don't think a lot of girls can say they took on the role, you know. So that was the fun part about it. That it was just new. I always have a little bit of a lateral thought when I think about the kind of things that I want to do. I need it to be special, I need it to be an immersive experience. So Reshma, my manager, who never ever actually says, you know, you should talk about this film. She's not someone, she lets me make my choices. She was just like, just read it. I just want you to read it. So it came to me while I was in New York. I remember sitting in my apartment one evening and I was like, all right, let me just read this movie. And I couldn't stop, and I just couldn't stop. And it was over, and I sat down, and I remember I was alone and I was looking at the city lights, and I just remembered what it's like for caretakers. When my father was unwell for about 8 years, what my mom went through, what we felt, the emotions that we felt. It was so visceral in that script when I read it. Like it took me back instantly, and it took me a second to remember that no one actually remembers the caretakers. We don't. What happens to a marriage? What happens to a relationship? What happens to you as a human being when you see the deterioration of someone that you love so much to something you can't help, and the helplessness of it. But you're trying to do everything, and my character Aditi in real life is a ferociously protective mother. And I thought that if I ever was in a situation like that, that's the kind of mom I would want to be. I'm not someone who plans my career. I'm very instinctive. If I like something, I do it. Hence the reason I fail a lot also, because you know I take risks, I take chances. I don't like. I mean, it's very easy to have a safe career. But I want to be able to have a path which is mine. Yeah, I screwed up sometimes, but it's mine. No one
Right.
else did it before me. It's completely, empty territory till I get there. It's my footprints. So I take a lot of pride in that. I want to do things that people are like, oh, she's doing that now. I look for things like that, whether it's acting, producing. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know. I'm producing here also now. So I don't know what it will be, but I hope in the 5-year plan I do have kids planned. I hope that happens. I definitely want to have kids.